from the previous hour. That is the best.
That's it.
Yes,
He's
money
method.
all the time.
That's it.
Yes,
It's like
he
Daniel
is.
Day being a shoe cobbler. That's him.
Yes,
It is good,
I
Will.
love it. Yes, I love it. Absolutely. Well, before Redskins fans become outraged as to why Dwayne Haskins is listed third on the depth chart, head coach Jay Gruden weighed in on why it's called McCoy as the QB1. His message, simple, being, quote, it's words on a piece of paper, names on a piece of paper, and an order that means nothing at this point. The third name on that piece of paper, the rookie, Haskins, and he, of course, will make his debut against the Browns on Thursday. Meanwhile, Rams wideout Cooper Kupp says getting past the first time he was hit since his ACL injury proved he's going to be good to go. Kupp, of course, tore his ACL on November 11th last season, missing the end of the Rams' regular season and the run to the Super Bowl. Of course, Kupp avoided the PUP list to open camp and is on pace to be ready week 1. Big man on a little bike. J.J. Watt accidentally breaking a child's bike on his way to Texans-Packers joint practice on Monday. And yeah, they're not meant for a fella his size. The setback, however, didn't take away from the experience of the tradition. No. Being able to take part in something he was able to admire as a young lad in Wisconsin was pretty cool.
Pretty special thing. It's pretty unique. It's pretty cool. I literally dreamt about this as a kid. So to be able to practice on these fields that I watched Brett Favre practice on, there's not going to be too many days like this in my career. So I'm very thankful and grateful that I got to have it.
What was it like taking part in the bicycle tradition?
It was pretty awesome until I broke the bike. The bike that I was using was not equipped for a 290-pound man, and the seat broke off. We have purchased a new bike for the boy. So I apologize for that.
So he apologized, but a dream come true. There, of course, were fights, tempers flaring at the joint practice between the Texans and the Packers. So what's more surprising, the fact that tempers flared or the fact that he broke the kid's bike?
Well, we'll get into that, but there's tempers flaring here at the table at you double downing on a reach in some Chris Farley action. What did I miss?
Yeah, well, the Tommy Boy, big guy on a little bike, the first time around was okay, and then doubling down, it's just more of you're better than that. As a guy who makes a lot of bad movie references, not as bad as Shaun, but you're better than that, Will.
Shaun, well, listen, got 3 hours, big guy, 3 hours. You know?
Yeah, we've had 3 hours for 3
hour
years.
Number 3 is different than hour 1, you know?
Hey, if you want to go Black Sheep or Beverly Hills Ninja, feel free.
Take another swing at it,
buddy. Whack it. It's all right.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, Will. I love a scuffle here
Shaun.
from the East Coast to the West Coast. And I like an in-camp scuffle. I feel like players are excited, they're feisty, tempers are flaring, and I'm okay with that. The weird thing about this one that happens at Broncos camp is that it was Emmanuel Sanders and Cortland Sutton, both offense, both the same position, both SMU guys. These two should be BFFs like Landry and Odell. Vic Fangio was asked about the receivers going at it just yesterday. Take a listen.
Like, usually you don't see fights within a specific group, you know, especially your top 2 wide receivers. Any concern of it lingering or hanging around?
I don't
being an issue.
I don't think so. As you well know, being an ex-receiver, there are a bunch of divas in there at times. And were you one of those?
What are you talking about?
No. Okay. So hopefully it's just a rare episode. If it continues, then I think it's a problem.
I would not want to fight in front of Vic Fangio. I feel like he's pretty intimidating and does not want that sort of thing. It's weird, Shaun, because it's the same position. It's like you and Chris Snee out there fighting or something. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah, normally it doesn't because you know you're going to be with this guy every single day for the next 6 months. So
Flexco never fought him, Monty?
No. I mean, they fought each other for targets, but never came to fisticuffs. You always get the offensive versus defensive fights, but this one, you know, it just sounds very strange. So it's funny you bring up Chris Snee because he did get in a fight with Rich Seubert. I'm going to turn back the clock here a little bit. This was during training camp, but on Fridays in the offseason program, we would have trash can football.
What's trash can football?
Trash can football is kind of like a way to make conditioning fun. You put a trash can on either side of the ball, and you make it 4-on-4. You create teams. It was kind of like a fun way to do it. It just kept you running around. The offensive defensive line, when they went 4-on-4, a lot less running than the other skill guys. But Chris Snee, Rich Seubert on opposite teams. Okay. They end up running into each other because they were both too lazy to get out of each other's way when they're running. They start pushing and shoving. Rich accidentally hits Chris in the face. Nobody touches my face. I mean, he went full Latimer style on it. And we literally had to separate them. Like, no punches were thrown, but it almost did. But they literally were like best friends. And I think that fight actually made them closer. They kind of like were like, sorry, I'm sorry. Rich is from Wisconsin, so he's like, sorry.
yeah, sure.
But that was the first time I ever saw like two guys that were actually really close, really great friends, actually become better friends because they got into it.
Like an after-school special.
Yeah.
No,
3 o'clock high.
crazy things happen. Listen, I remember once in the middle of a game, in the middle of the huddle, Reggie Wayne full-on shoved Peyton Manning in the middle of a game. They just got hot. You know, it happens. And then they talk afterwards, oh, it's no big deal. Sometimes I think you need it to light the fire. You know that, Shaun. Like, if it's a little flat or guys are loafing around or hot, like, there will be side conversations about, look, just so you know, in team period today in the second play, we're going. I've seen that. I've heard players talk about it. And sometimes when there's a fight, like, okay, now we're fighting. Now we're going, and the next drill's great. So it doesn't surprise me.
And like, those are the stories. Long before YouTube or viral videos, Stephen Davis and Michael Westbrook were going at it.
That's the worst thing ever.
And like, that's the kind of stuff that
one of them got hurt.
Everyone's horrible. That's what happens. There could be injuries. That's when it gets bad. So I'm okay with them jabbing whatever. But I don't think it's a great sign that Cortland Sutton and Emmanuel Sanders are arguing and Vic Fangio has to comment on it. I would like to hear that everyone's copacetic.
You know what is
great
about it,
between what you're describing. Like, guys in their helmets pushing each other and shoving happens all the time.
Right.
Like, a sucker punch to a helmetless player is a terrible thing. We know a few guys who have done that. So, like, that's a different deal. If these guys are just tussling and getting mad about it, then that's football.
If Odell and Landry are tussling, is it a huge story?
It is.
Huge because it's them. But the football fights mostly are so stupid because you just go like that in the helmet and then no one ever gets hurt. So most of the time, I think football fights have much to do about nothing. Most of the time.
I think the great part is that Vic Fangio found a way to make kind of light of it. Like, wide receiver, you know, we kind of expect that. This was probably a cat fight, let's be honest.
Maybe so.
Wow.
There's one wide receiver that I mentioned named Odell. But I want to show you guys what he did yesterday. We know Browns fans, Cleveland, all excited about this 2019 squad. So Odell was rolling around in his new surroundings, and he
West
got
6th Street.
spotted by some Big Ten fans. Just look at this.
Odell, what's up, man? Your name on my plate. Yeah. Look at my plate. I'm not even lying. Look at.
Hey, yo. Hey, he about to sign it? He about to sign it for real?
Yo, can you sign it for us? Yeah.
Yeah.
You can sign it for us? Where is it?
Odell.
Yes, sorry.
Oh, yeah. Good looks. Oh, yeah. Good looks.
Mind blown. Wild.
Was Baker driving? Who was driving?
This was meant
the
to
car?
happen.
That person has a vanity license plate with their fanhood of Odell Beckham Jr. and literally saw Odell Beckham Jr. This is when Nate would be like, hold on, this was set up. I smell it. Right. The coincidence level is insane.
This was real.
What?
Cleveland is a big little town, right? It's a big little city. But yes, she's a super fan. Like, she's a huge Odell Beckham fan, huge Browns fan. And I mentioned it before, she has to take the plates off her car now because she's worried someone's going to steal them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So she'll get cited for that because you can't drive without plates.
Right. You got to wear these specialty plates.
What's better?
But like JJ breaking the kid's bike, Odell needs to pay that ticket now.
How about her? Like, the trade happens, immediately she's at the DMV. I need new plates.
Yeah.
Right away. She already has
You really
it.
took that cameo in Madden and really made it your whole personality there.
Well, what do you mean by
Negative
that?
Nancy.
What do you mean? I played Madden all weekend. The Good Morning Football cast is in Madden, and as soon you make up a fictional player, and as soon as they make a big game, it comes to us, and I'm like, he can't do it again. This guy's got nothing. People are tweeting me saying, "Why are you lighting up my guy in Madden?" Because that's
What a wet blanket you are, Kyle.
I know. Normally I'm the pump-up guy.
Can we give you a rating? A Madden rating?
Yeah, 100 hater.
99 and quick.
Skip Brandt, hello.
Oh, right. That's good. Thank you.
So
Peter.
you guys were downstairs playing Wolf of Wall Street. When I reviewed some of my rankings for fantasy, I took this guy off the list.
How come?
I don't know, but I put Kyler Murray on it too. I'm sure Peter Schrager's pleasure.